evening and welcome to Diversity in the Community. I am your host, Teresa Harris, and I am so excited to have some talented women with me today. I have the founder of Ruby Realm Production, Ms. Valerie Ingram, and Cherie Sutton, who's going to be in one of her productions that's coming up. And Cherie is also a part of, she has a production called She Is Me. So I am just blessed to have these wonderful, talented ladies with me here today. So Valerie, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with me.
And Cherie,
you know I'm so happy to have you here. And I'm so excited about your production that's coming up. Valerie, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and the history of Ruby Realm Productions?
Sure, I'd be glad to. Well, I'm a native of New Britain, Connecticut, and I've been writing for as long as I can remember now. And as I was just thinking this afternoon, I started a production company called Destiny's Golden Squad. It was in 1996, and it was really working with junior high school kids.
Can you pronounce it again?
Destiny's Golden Squad.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
They were in 7th grade at the time I recruited them, and I went into the school as a health educator and worked with one of the health teachers to find out a lot of the kids really expressed that they wanted some other things to do to help their peers. So created this peer education group that went on for a good 7 years.
Wow.
So my peers became peer mentors, and they recruited other peers. We went all around Connecticut and community agencies and schools, and just bringing messages of awareness with health disparities, with things that they felt were important to their peers. They had pieces about how they related to their parents, which was huge. How they didn't get along with their parents, how they did, about suicide, about substance abuse, about sexual transmitted infections. And a lot of the material were based on what they brought to me, on how they wanted to educate those peers. And ironically enough, one of those same peers are in my production today.
Really? Oh my goodness.
I recruited her when she was 12, 13 years old, and she's 32 now.
Oh my.
She was in my last production, and she is as well cast in this one.
Oh my.
So Ruby's Realm production was actually founded in 2007. And again, just to raise awareness about sensitive issues in communities that people don't want to talk about. And so I started there, put it down for a little while, and then got the push for all the creative energy in 2014, about February. And so got back on stage December 5th, 2014, and been on stage ever since.
Wonderful. Tell me a little bit about what what the name of the show is. You reap what you sow.
This one is.
Yeah,
Reap what you sow.
Yeah, okay. Now, what is this one about?
This one is all about karma. And what goes around is definitely coming around. On how karma sits and watches and waits patiently, and as soon as you don't think it's coming and you think you're clear, it's coming back for you.
It's coming back for you.
It is.
Oh, right. Okay, so you have one of your Cherie is in your play. How do you feel about being in the play and what you're learning from being in the play? You know.
First of all, I'm nervous. I'll be very honest. But I'm excited because, as Valerie said, from what I've seen just in the rehearsals that we've had recently, the story is rich. There's a lot of information there. If you pay attention, as she said, there's topics that we don't normally talk about or discuss. We don't feel comfortable, or we've been taught not to. But I feel there's a need for it. So when I met her, I was so excited because both of our productions have pretty much the same focus. When I started mine, I had the same thing in mind, but I was more focused on women and our stories and what we go through. But back to You Reap What You Sow, very exciting, and you're going to have to pay attention so you don't miss any of the the information she's trying to give us, because it's educational. I'll be honest, from what I see, it's a very educational play. You'll be entertained, but you'll also be educated.
Well, I was privileged because we're all in the same writers group, but I was privileged to hear, or we kind of read through the play, and I was fascinated by the writing, by all the twists and turns. It's going to be so exciting. So I'm just hoping that everybody that can, I hope that they fill up the place that night. Can you tell me a little bit about your cast and how did you choose the people that you have in the show?
The chosen ones.
Yeah, the chosen ones.
Chosen ones.
Yes.
I don't have any readings. I don't have any casting calls. The chosen ones are sent to me, and I really believe that I'm at the right place where my eyes are open to see, my ears are open to hear what I need to hear. And I ask people, I talk to them about the project, and I ask them to be a part of the project. And this is a very spirit-filled production. And so I just see myself as a vessel. That this is, I know this is my ministry, and I continue on with that. So God chooses who He wants to be in this production, and just allows me to see them at the right time. And it has worked every time. And I'm so careful, because Sundays are the best day of the week. When we get together, I think all of the cast members look forward to Sunday.
I saw some of the pictures on Facebook. I was so jealous.
We have such a good time. We work, but we enjoy each other's company, and we have fun. And if you were to just come to my house on a Sunday, you would think a bunch of friends just got together, and we're just having a great time enjoying each other. But then the work begins, and we stay in the same vein. I'm just enjoying where we are, and that creative energy surrounds us from beginning to end.
Wow. I saw too that you have some little ones.
Yes.
So how's the flow with the babies?
The little ones actually, there are three little ones that are 2 or 7. One is 8 years old. 2 of them are my grandchildren, and one of them could be my granddaughter. My grandchildren have been involved in my project ever since the beginning, but they wanted to be in the project. And today's my grandson's 9th birthday, so I want to make sure I say that. Happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday!
For each production, they wanted to do a little bit more. And I thought, what a better way to introduce them to the arts, to creativity, than having them do little parts on the stage. And so they love it. They enjoy it so much.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love working with kids. A lot of the productions that I've been in had young people, and some of the teenage boys and girls, they act like I'm their age. One young guy, he's in Arizona, I think, and he was like, I can't wait to come and see you, Miss Teresa. They keep me young, they keep me young, and I respect them, they respect me, How has it been with people trying to remember their lines? I know that's been kind of a tough thing for me, but maybe I should be asking you.
It's a challenge, because this is my first time in a play. I've been in front of an audience before with my own productions, but as far as learning a part, playing a character, this is different. This is a stretch for me. And they say it's good to stretch yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, it is.
I'm really stretching out of my comfort zone with this production. But we keep each other on point. And I'm noticing each week the rehearsals get better and better. We're getting more comfortable with each other. As Valerie said, some folks have been with her from the beginning, and then you have new people like myself. But I'll be honest, I don't feel like a new person now. It feels like a family, seriously. There's a spirit, and I mentioned this to her the first rehearsal that we had a couple of weeks ago. As soon as I walked into her backyard, there was like this spirit that I felt. And it's hard to explain, but it was just so comfortable. And everyone just got to work, She split us up in groups, and then we came back together to go through the entire play, and it was just awesome. The spirit, and now we've moved inside because it's not too warm anymore. So
Yeah.
same spirits inside that house, and we're in a tighter space, so you would think people would be, a little bit uncomfortable. No, everybody's fine, and everybody I can tell is making an effort to remember those lines. And if not, then you would get your partner that will nudge you or say something to help you to remember. So it's a great group of people.
So you almost answered what I was gonna ask is how is it to work with this wonderful lady here?
Oh, she's awesome. She's my homegirl because we both are Southern Belles. So I found that out after I met her. Yeah, we both hail from North Carolina. So right there's a kindred spirit that is between the two of us.
Isn't it I'm a Southern Belle too. Isn't it wonderful though when you meet people and you just click?
Mm-hmm.
The first time I met Belle, it was just the warm feel. First time I met you, and it seemed like that same spirit is carrying over into your rehearsals and all that. So I just can't wait for everything to happen. I know it's just going to be wonderful. How many cast members do you have?
16.
16.
This
Whoa.
production, and that's been a challenge. But I've learned over the productions not to stress, not to worry about what is going on, and not to exert energy where I don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
If someone, many people have made the commitment over the years and decided not to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so grateful that they can walk this far in the journey. I'm happy. It took some growth for me to get to that point where I thought the same people that started the journey would continue on. But they gave so much in each production, and I'm just so grateful on where we've come from. And it also, they've allowed others to come on. Because I realize now, had the same group stayed on, I would have never met Sheree. I would have never come in contact with the many people who are making their stage debut November 5th, who and all have said to me, I'm not an actor, I'm not an actress. And I say, you are. I mean, we act every day. But to look at the stage and my cast that was in, I Feel Like Screaming, they told me that the stage is a healing ground. And I didn't look at it that way. But many of the topics that were discussed, they asked me, how did I connect the character to them personally? And I said, I didn't. This is how God works through this production.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that there were issues of sexual assault or incest or substance abuse with people. I met them where they were, and these things came out, and it was a form of healing. So it's just wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, just like I said, I just can't wait till everything just comes together. I got my little notes here, so what kind of topics do you address in this production? You talked a little bit about it, but I don't know if you want to go into a little more. What kind of topics are you really addressing in this production?
Well, I think on the flip side of that, for You Reap What You Sow is what is it we don't cover in this production.
Yeah.
We cover a lot of relationships altogether. This is the story of a very small community that's intertwined with each other. We talk about domestic violence, about substance abuse, about incest, about girlfriend relationships.
Yeah, and that's a powerful one for me because you can see a friendship that spanned years, from childhood to senior citizen stage, and I played one of those characters, and it's just awesome to realize that, okay, friendships do last. Yes. These women have been friends since they were little girls, and they're still the best of friends. And I think that's a powerful message to send, that sometimes your friend is closer than family.
Oh, yeah.
And they're always there. They may not seem like it, but they've always got your back, and that's powerful.
Yes.
The story just continues to intertwine with the characters that are involved in the community. And as Cherie had alluded to, it's a story, it's a generational story of two friends on what is going on. And there's Busy and Ruby are, I always call everybody the main characters, but they're narrating this story of their lives. And so when you mentioned the kids that are younger kids do a role where they talk about them in elementary school. And then we have a teenage group that talks about them in their teenage years. And then we have the adults that talk about them. But in the meantime, they are intertwining back and forth, dancing, because they're always dancing. They're always celebrating their friendship.
Oh, I'm busy. Of course I'm dancing.
She's dancing. Yes.
I love my name.
But it's just really about how friendships are powerful. And these two friends have survived the test of everything and everyone. And at the end of the day, they end up with each other. And that's it.
That's it. They know more about each other than I think they know about themselves, Ruby and Busy.
I can connect with, I'm smiling so much when you guys talking about friendships, because I have five prayer partners. We've been friends since our kids were babies. They were all in the junior choir together. Now we're all in our 60s. We got one that's still in her 50s, and we've been friends all these years. We get up in the morning every morning at 5:30, and we connect for prayer. One of my friends works she works for Connecticut College in HR. My cousin works at the Hartford Hospital. She's over the operating room. So they all have really interesting jobs. One of them retired and then went back to school and got her doctorate in religious education. So, but we all have gone through this journey together. Some divorces and some, but we've all, no matter what we've said on the phone to each other, you've never heard it again. And we've been friends all these years. So when you're talking about the friendship that goes, we have gone through journeys together. And when I called them up and told them about, the medical things and all that on the phone, and we were all praising God for it together. If somebody, like when one of our friends we just found out that's sick, I text my prayer partners, and all I saw was these texts coming back. We're praying right now, and this has been going on for years. And a bond between friends, especially women, I don't want to really single about, but especially women, that's a powerful thing, boy.
Well, Busy and Ruby are just a reflection of my best friend and I. We've been friends since second grade.
Oh my God.
And we might not talk to each other for months that go by, but we can pick up right where we left off. And as I created the different characters, and oftentimes I write in the middle of the night, and I didn't even know I was writing about that relationship for probably 3 productions. And then I realized, wow, this is the power of what we have and how it plays out for me. Even though I don't see her as often as she's in Las Vegas.
Wow.
We're at the other ends of the earth, but I have her with me. I have her with me all the time, and it shows in the production. I allude a lot to things that when we grew up, even to her mom that baked all the time, that I loved to listen to her stories. I have her in there. She recently passed, but she's alive in the production. So it's just so much power that comes to it.
Wow. We call it, my group, we call it the rich life. Doesn't have anything to do with money.
Right.
And we always say to each other that I feel sorry for people that don't have this. Because it's just, let's get back to the play.
Yeah, because a friend sometimes is more valuable than money.
Yeah.
When you think about
God,
it.
yes.
Yes.
Where is the play going to be held? I know it's in Trinity.
Trinity on Main.
Trinity on Main. Okay.
It's in New Britain, 69 Main Street.
69 Main Street. Okay. That's a beautiful. It used to be a church, right? And they renovated it. They changed it into a theater. It's a beautiful.
Quite a few years ago. Yeah, it's a beautiful theater. And it holds over 300 people. It's just a fabulous place. I like to keep the productions local. We actually did one at the Carriage House 2015. But Trinity on Main is a real intimate setting. It's convenient for folks. It's
Yeah,
great parking.
it's a nice place.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really is nice. I know we can't talk about money here, but how do people get their tickets? How would they? Um,
They can go. Trinity on Main is a box office. So Fly on West Main Street in New Britain is one of my collaborators and ticket outlets. Thelma's Boutique and Thrift Store that's also on West Main Street. They're a collaborative partner and ticket outlet. And also there's a link on Facebook for Eventbrite.
oh, okay.
And tickets are sold at the door as well.
Okay, all right. Now we're talking about. I'm going ahead of myself, but is there something in brewing after this one?
Well, I always say no, but my cast members say yes all the time. It's when I got back on stage 2014 and I said to them, thank you, this is great, we're done. They said, no, we're not. And so I had to look at that, and they would call and text, when are we going to rehearse again? When are we going to get together? Where's the script? So I thought about that within the last couple of days, and so our next production will be springtime,
Oh, okay.
2017.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be doing something.
Maybe.
Oh man. I have the last question that I have down here, and I think you hit on it a lot, but I just want to ask one more time. Why do you do this? Why do you do this work?
It is truly my ministry.
Mm-hmm.
It is what I'm supposed to do. I've spent a lifetime working in health disparities and providing education,
Mm-hmm.
and really felt that I couldn't do it working for someone else the way I needed to talk about as many things as I needed to talk about, where I felt that so much was stifled. You know, we many of us, I'm not going to include everyone, many of us come up with the notion of what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruby's Realm production blows the doors off of everyone's house.
Mm-hmm.
There is no filter in my writing. I don't candy coat anything. There's no profanity or anything in the production, but I purposely don't down anything because why? We hide enough things behind closed doors.
So true. So
And
true.
for many people that need to access, whether it's counseling, testing, care for different things. In this production, we talk a lot about health screenings for women, for mammograms, for pap smears, for why don't you get it done, and to look at why women are not getting this done, how important early detection is.
Right, exactly.
So there's many things we talk about, HIV awareness and testing and condom use and things that are important for our community's health and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not talking about it on a stage, if we're not talking about it on TV, then where are we getting the education from where we continue to have higher risk of infections, of things that go on with communities? We have a huge piece talking about homelessness. That's alive and well in so many different communities.
Yes.
And a homeless person doesn't wake up this morning and say, I'm going to be homeless for the next 10 years.
Right.
Someone who's substance abusing doesn't get up today and say, I'm going to be an addict. And that's the life. Things occur. And so we need to talk about those things, because not only are people infected, there are people that are affected. And
Right.
family members
Right.
are affected by other people. And to say, you know what? This has happened to me in my character while I'm on stage. So you may come to me and say, I identify with Busy. I play the adult Busy.
Mm-hmm.
I identify with her mental health issues because she's got a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She truly has got a lot of mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Or to say, my mom has these issues. My mom hears voices.
Mm-hmm.
And to say, you know what? I need somebody to talk to. Can someone help me with that? This is my goal on every single production, is that one person in the audience is aware.
Mm-hmm.
One person is touched. if there's every seat filled and that one person is touched, that's great. If we open the curtain and there's one person sitting there and that person is touched, job is done.
Now, after the show, you guys gonna like kind of stay around so that if people, because I mean, I'm sure that people will probably get touched when you open up the door for someone that we ask questions after the production.
But we're not going to have a question and answer session after this one.
Right.
What I look at is Ruby's Realm has a page on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and if people have questions or they just want to find out more information, they can always link in.
That's kind of what I was saying was like not like right after the show, but is there any way that people can like reach out, because you know you're hitting on so many things and so many people. I'm sure they probably want to talk after the show anyway, but privately may want to ask questions, you know, and that would be wonderful if people can like reach out to you somehow, because you just hit on so many things and just what you were just saying.
Let me just share this with you. The last production, because I feel like screaming.
Mm-hmm.
3 days after that production,
Mm-hmm.
a person in the audience called me
Mm-hmm.
and said, I'm HIV positive and I'm not in care. Can you help me?
Mm-hmm.
And I connected her to community resources.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I'm talking about, the power of this production to identify with, you are not alone here.
Mm-hmm.
We're not here to judge you.
Right.
We're here to say you're not alone in anything that goes on. Living is scary.
Yeah.
It just is. There's
Yeah.
many things that we go through on the
Yes.
journey, as we've alluded to earlier when in our conversations, that we hide. We don't talk about freely.
Right.
This is a space to just everything that if you think it has happened behind the doors are coming off. November 5th at Trinity on Main. The stage is going to be on fire.
Well,
Mhm.
I believe it. I do believe it. I just want to thank you ladies so much for coming on my program. I feel truly blessed. I feel truly blessed to know you guys. You're not just here as guests, but somebody that I met, that I love.
We're blessed to know you, girlfriend.
You know, I've been knowing Cherie for a few years and just met you recently and feel like I've known you forever. And just fell in love with the ladies, you know. So I really thank you guys, and I'm just looking forward to the production. I know it's going to do well. And all you guys out there in what they call TV land, I hope you guys really get a chance to come out and see this production. I know it's going to be worth it. And I just thank you for watching. And I've been really touched by some of the things that Valerie has said. So I want to thank them again for coming on the program. Thank you for watching Diversity in the Community, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.